video on how to trade Forex news and how to utilize the news better in your trading so you can find more setups, because in order to be profitable in the market, you need to find consistent setups. And so here is my solution for you. Here's what I've noticed. So the site I use for my news data is Forex Factory, and yes, I use FX Street. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is that when you're trading and looking for more setups, the first thing you should do is you should generalize your pairs on your watch list around news that is coming up. And what I mean by that is, since Monday, today's Tuesday, all of my trade setups for this week so far have been based on news, this news that's been coming out. Specifically, high impact news, and specifically medium impact news. And the reason it has to be medium or high impact news for me is because without that, there's no significant price change, because medium and high impact news mean there's volatility. And without that, there's low volatility. So if I'm looking to trade smart money concepts or supply and demand, all these ICT concepts and all of these things, fair value gaps and balances, order blocks, supply and demand zones, in order for these to be present and for you to see these, and there has to be a volatility, because these represent supply and demand. No matter what it is, supply, fair value gaps, order blocks, blah, blah, blah. These are supply and demand, and these usually will leave high volatility or high volume when this happens to look for your setup. So the orange and red on my screen stands for the medium impact news and the high impact news, because we need this to find setup. So right now, I am about to take a Canadian trade because, number one, I usually will trade, my session is from London session all the way to like 5 p.m. to the end of New York session. So, but I usually like to trade in the morning early, or not really past 10 o'clock, but sometimes later. And so you can either, when you're looking for a setup, you can either trade before the news or after the news. So I'm looking to take this trade after the news, because if you can't find a setup on your chart before the news actually happens, like the actual time, then you shouldn't look for sorry guys, the background. Then you shouldn't look for a setup at all. So what I did was I waited for the CAD news to come out, because I was like, okay, so this is a pair. I only trade the major pairs, so USD CAD, AU, all the major pairs. I don't trade like 12 pairs. But basically, I waited for the CAD news to show up, and this on my chart, this giant black candle, the sell candle right here you see on my screen, represents the news. So you can look for setups either before the news or after the news, basically. And so if you can't find a setup before you sit, let's say you choose your pair that you want to trade based off the news. Let's say Wednesday you want to trade a GBP pair or a USD pair. You look for pairs that have that currency in them, and you look for setups. If you can't find them, what I would do is wait till after 2 a.m. till this comes out, and wait till after 10 a.m. because after, there's always news, and that will move the market drastically, but there's always a correction. Even if it doesn't go all the way 50%, there's always some sort of correction. So there's always news that makes the drastic movement, and there's always a correction. So you can get in after the news on that correction, or you can get in luckily when you have a setup before the news. And the news itself will push your trade into profit if you're on the right side of the market, if you're trading with smart money, which is the institutions and the banks, specifically in Forex. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this little video to help. So I'm actually, the only reason I'm trading this pair is because, number one, today is Tuesday. We had CAD. I saw we had CAD news coming up this morning, and I couldn't find a setup before 8:30. Right now it's 9:01, and I couldn't find a setup before 8:30. So what I did was I waited till this came out, and it did. Yeah. Sorry, I just refreshed it. Now the next news is at 9:30. So I just waited till it came out, and then this revealed itself to me on the chart, this giant black candle, and it currently looks like we're not ready to buy yet, because we're still in a downtrend, as you can see previously, and it's not over because we have another leg here, another push down. So that is why I'm entering, and I'm taking profit on the next low here. And what I did was, the reason why there's a gray box and a black line under here is because I went on the higher time frame, and I noticed that on the monthly time frame that we had some upward movement previously here. We had some upward movement previously here, and then we had some price action come back down to that gap right there, and then push up breaking structure here, and now we're back down to here. And then I'm trying to show you guys where I saw, there it is. I saw a fair value gap on the weekly time frame, and this is an example why you want to use higher time frames, guys, in your trading. But I found a fair value gap, and right here, and I was wondering, okay, so I always mark the middle of that gap. So here's the gap, and I always mark the middle of it. And so what I'm doing is on the lower time frame is I'm trading towards that line to the middle of the gap here. So you see what I'm doing? And then the higher time frame is giving me even more confluence of that, as well as I have volume divergence here. If you look, ascending downwards, and also price action ascending downwards as well. And so I have multiple confirmations as well as fundamental data as well. And I do know I have this other site I wanted to show you guys real quick called barchart.com. I'm going to leave the link in the description. But this tool right here, I went to USD CAD because that's what I'm trading. And then if you look here, long positions, short positions, this tells you the basically all the positions in the banks and institutions. This chart here specifically is the banks. So this is just real-time data that's public of recent banks and institutions as of December 12th. And now it's later, but they don't trade as often as we do. They let retail trade, and then they just accumulate, distribute, and blah blah blah. And so, long positions, short positions sorry, there it is. For USD CAD, the banks have more short positions for USD CAD. Was that the right one? Hold on, let me see. Fuck. Yeah, banks are still on the short side, and that tells me also that just gives me an extra confluence. But we'll talk more about this. It's called COT data. It stands for commitment of traders, but I'll talk about that in another video. But that's just another confluence. And I also use Twitter, Trading Economics, and to see real-time data visually, because I'm a visual person. I like to see visual data, so I like to have a lot of real-time stuff. So this all just helps me with fundamental analysis, because fundamental analysis can really improve your trading. But I just do a little bit. I just use the calendar, I use the Twitter, and then I use this. I only use like 3 things. But mostly, guys, I wanted just to make this video and show you guys here. I'm just following current price action. The 1 hour candle, we're still going down. We had a new leg down in the 1 hour. And as you can see, volume is selling volume has been rising. And we have a 5-minute supply zone there. We have a little gap here. And we have a gap right there, and then there's another one here. But these are my 2 gaps that I'm looking for entry. And if you guys want to see how this trade turns out, check out my Instagram. It's in these comments and in the description and all that shit. And I'll just post it, and you guys can see the results. But I hope this video actually helped you guys, and you got some value out of this. But yeah, guys, peace. Oh wait, one more thing. Again, when you're looking for setups, try to only have like 5 to 7 to 8 pairs on your watch list, so you don't get analysis paralysis and you don't like go crazy and lose track of all your setups and then lose a bunch of trades and blow your account. Just put it on the major pairs: USD CAD, GU, USD Swiss franc, UJ, New Zealand US dollar, AUD USD, Euro USD. I just have these. You can even copy me if you want. You can have the same thing. But I just have, I don't even think, is this even showing in the video? Hold on. Is this even, I think it is. But I just have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 pairs that I trade. Only 7. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make this video. Just choose your 7 pairs and only trade pairs that you see that there's actual news coming up, because news simply moves the market. And if you're trading smart money and you're not trading your like other concepts like retailer, that's fine too. But if you're trading strictly smart money, this will help you a lot. you could so remember to trade when only trade pairs when you see news that's coming out. Trade based on the news coming out, and also trade before and after the news. You can trade either before or after. So you trade only after the news when you can't find your setup. So you always really want to be trading before the news. But if you can't find a setup before, you can't recognize a confident space to enter your trade, then wait till after the news. And I hope this video, guys, helped you, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. And I'm still waiting for this. Oh, it's coming up. It's coming up. Still waiting for the entry. Still waiting for the entry. Can't wait to show you guys how this trade turns out. Peace.